Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
How are we doing?
Doing well.
Fantastic. Happy Pride. It is our annual Pride Shabbat. So we will begin with singing Hine Ma Tov, how wonderful it is that we get to celebrate together.
Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet amim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet amim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, ya la 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 la. Hine ma tov, ya la 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 la. Hine ma tov u'manayim, ya la 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 la. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet amim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet amim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet amim gam yachad.
And as we turn to page 2 together, I would like to invite the Temple Pride Committee, chaired by Chava and Bonnie, to lead us in Candles and Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen.
L'chaim. Now, I would like to invite anyone who has celebrated or will be celebrating a birthday this month to stand, raise your hand, flail your arms, get my attention somehow. I know we have a couple. We got a few? Okay.
Yeah, keep showing us because you get goodies.
Yeah, you get prizes. So the book of Genesis teaches us, Vayivra Elohim et ha'adam b'tzalmo, b'tzelem Elohim bara otam, vayvarech otam Elohim. God created humanity in the divine image. In the image of God, they were created. Then God blessed them. To each of you celebrating a birthday this month, your life is not incidental. It's sacred. You carry within you a spark of the divine, and this world is different and better because you are in it. Tonight on Pride Shabbat, as we pause to remember that every human being deserves to feel safe, loved, and celebrated for who they are, we also pause to honor that truth within each of you and celebrate you. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yivarech Otam Ke'adam Harishon. May the one who blessed all of our ancestors before us bless each of you, just as the very first human beings, as you step into this new year of life. May your journey ahead be filled with strength, joy, hope, laughter, and love, and may you always know that you are valued and loved for who you are. And we say together, Amen. And before we sing Shehechianu, you may be seated for the moment. Before we sing Shehechianu, we have another special blessing. I'd like to invite Benjamin to come up, as well as our 4 predetermined volunteers who identify as tall.
Who identify as tall.
No, we're not. Benjamin, get closer, and we need just hold one part of it. I want you to hold another one.
Perfect. There you go.
The 2 of you hold this.
Very nice.
Try to, try to have Benjamin in the middle.
Fantastic.
God, you are tall. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai, berachnucha mibet Adonai. Blessed are you who have come here in the name of God. We bless you in this house of God. And we say to you, Benjamin, מי שברח אבותינו ואימותינו, אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, שרה רבקה רחל ולאה, הוא יברך את אחינו בנימין, בן אברהם אבינו ושרה אמנו, בבואו להסתפח בנחלת ישראל, ולהימנות על גרי הצדק בתוך עם אלוהי אברהם ושרה. יהי רצונו שיצליח בדרכו, ויראה בכל מעשה ידיו, ונאמר אמן. May God, who blessed our ancestors, Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebekah, Jacob, Rachel and Leah, bless you, Binyamin, who has cast his lot with the people of Israel. He is a ger tzedek among the people of God of Abraham and Sarah. May he prosper in all his worthy endeavors. May the work of his hands be blessed. And together we say,
Amen.
And now it's your part.
Of my own free will, I choose to enter into the eternal covenant between God and the people of Israel. I commit myself to the pursuit of Torah and Jewish knowledge. I promise to establish a Jewish home. I commit if I should be blessed with children, I promise to raise them as Jews. I commit to building a meaningful relationship. I accept Judaism. Under all circumstances, I will be loyal to the Jewish people and to Judaism.
And we say to you, Yevarchecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yechuneka.
May the light of God's face shine upon you, and may God be kind to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God's face be lifted towards you, and may God grant you shalom, wholeness, wellness, and peace on your Jewish journey.
Ken yehi ratzon.
We say together, Amen.
Amen.
Now we can sing the Shehechianu, page 344.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
result of Benjamin, and we'll let the good tall people rest their hands.
Amazing. All right, and we turn to page 20 to sing together Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, likrot kala penei Shabbat, nekala, nekala. Lecha Dodi, likrot kala penei Shabbat, nekala, nekala. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom umevorach. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom umevorach.
Turn to page 28. We rise physically, spiritually, or both for the Baruch Hu.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Lie, 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 ya la 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 lie, lie, lie. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la.
Page 31. Let's read together at the bottom of. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. And we turn to page 34 for the calling of the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod, Shem Kivod, Malchuto, Le'olam, Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated. And the words for "And You Shall Love" is on the inside cover of the handout.
And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words which I command you on this day
shall be upon your heart.
shall be upon your heart.
Shall be upon your heart.
And you shall teach them diligently unto your children. And you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, and when you lie down,
And when you
rise up,
and when you
rise up, and you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be for frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorposts of your house,
and upon your gate,
and upon your gate,
and upon your gate,
that you may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy
unto your God,
unto your God,
unto your God,
unto your God,
unto your God. Page 39. Let's read responsibly at the bottom of the page. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
We continue with singing Mi Chamocha on page 40.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh. Oh, Sebele, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
Page 43. Let's read together at the top of the page. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporech sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim, Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Page 44. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomerei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomerei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Oneg Shabbat. Mekadasheh, Mekadasheh Shavi Shabbat. Kulam Yispa'u Vitangu Mituvecha Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomerei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomerei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Oneg Shabbat. Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomerei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomerei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Oneg Shabbat. Zecher lema'aseh v'reishit Shabbat. Zecher lema'aseh v'reishit Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomerei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomerei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Oneg Shabbat. There it is. There it is. As we turn to page 46, we rise physically, spiritually, or both for the tefillah. Anananananana Adonai. Anananananana Svatai Tiftach. Ananananana Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana Svatai Tiftach. Ananananana Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana Svatai Tiftach. Ananananana Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Ha'gibor Ha'norah, El Elyon, Komel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Ma'an Shemo Ve'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah. Let's continue on page 50. Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Ata Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Meimit Umechaye, Umatmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emanata le'achayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. And we finish on page 52. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kiddushim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Let's read the English in the middle of the page together. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. You may be seated as we turn to page 60 to sing together Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam. Ki atahu melech hador lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech hador lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam. V'tov be'einacha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol lev u'b'chol sha'ah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam. We take a moment for a silent prayer, a meditation, or just a nice moment of quiet to enjoy the holy space we're creating here together this evening. We all need healing in our lives. Healing of body, of spirit, of mind. At this point in our service, we take a moment to think of those in our lives that are in need of healing. Whether it be you, a loved one, a family member, a friend, anyone you might be thinking of tonight, them in our hearts, we turn to page 253 to sing together Misha Berach, our prayer for healing. Sheberach Avotenu Mikor Habraha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha laotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
We're very lucky here in Jewish Louisville and in Louisville in general to have such a wonderful leader of the Jewish family and career services, Dr. David Fink, who happens also to be a member of our temple and has done wonders as the CEO of the Jewish Family and Career Services. And among the many endeavors that JFCS does is also their work with the LGBTQ plus community, especially with trans youth and their caregivers, which is so essential for our city and our community. And it's really an honor and a pleasure to have Dr. David Fink as our keynote speaker here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Rabbi David, Rabbi Matt, Jennifer, thank you very much for welcoming me, and that was probably a better introduction than I deserved. Actually, when we sat down and the Pride Committee stood up, for me, that was an incredibly meaningful moment, and I also want to thank you, the Pride Committee, and I'm going to say more about my membership at Temple at the end, but thank you for helping the Temple embrace Pride in a different way, and I mean celebrate it and embrace it. So Rabbi David asked me to talk about JFCS and our involvement with the LGBTQ community, and like any good bar mitzvah boy, I want to talk about the Parsha. So I'm going to start there, and I'm going to make it fit. And it's a really interesting Parsha. I read it many, many times to try and figure out how I wanted to connect it to LGBTQ life and how I wanted to connect it to allyship. And I don't know if all of you are familiar, but it's a pretty dense, there's actually two, and they're pretty dense. There's lots of messaging. If you are Janet and Sonny Meyer and you don't know how to run a funeral home, there's information for you there about how to work with people after they've passed and what to do to then cleanse. If you are a physician by chance, Dr. Fedelstein, there's an opportunity there to learn about the importance of how to heal, and also, if you're a patient, how to be healed. But for me, I was struck by sort of the story through both Parsha about it's a moment where the Israelites are trying to get to Canaan, and they're trying to find their way, and there's a shorter way to go, and they go to one leader and they say, we'll pay you if we drink any of your water. We'll pay you if we venture off the path. And the leader says no. They go to another leader, and the leader then attacks them. There's back and forth. And the other thing that happens in this Parsha is that the Israelites are full of anxiety, full of grief, and full of what God and Moshe kind of think is kind of rebellion, but what I think is fear and lack of hope. And then they come to Moab, and there's the king of Moab, Barak, who, to try and chase out the Israelites, he hires on a sorcerer, Balaam. And on Balaam's way to Moab to strike fear into the Israelites, as if they obviously are not fearful enough, his donkey refuses to cooperate, sees an angel, kind of reinterprets the world, and all of a sudden Balaam, instead of cursing the Israelites, blesses them. And blesses them to have an open tent. And they talk about the tent of Jacob as an open and inclusive tent. And to me, that is where we talk about pride, and we talk about the LGBT community. And I think that I want to underscore, and again, I'm also a psychologist, so I believe in statistics. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some sobering and even hopeful statistics. But if you ever are interested, you can look at the Trevor Project, which has some really robust research on the impact on transgender youth and the impact on the LGBT community. And I'm just going to give you a few statistics. So in a study of, 18,000 or so people, 39% considered suicide of the LGBT plus community in the past year. 49% of kids, 13 to 17 years of age, experienced bullying in their school. And those kids had an increased rate of suicidal ideation and even suicidal attempts. About 50% of the LGBTQ community who responded to the survey acknowledged that they wanted help, they wanted therapy, but couldn't get it. Now, there's some hope in all of that as well, and I'm going to come back to that in a minute. But to me, one of the more staggering and terrifying statistics, because it involves transgender youth, is that they did an incredible study where they looked at transgender youth in states as states began to crush attempts for gender-affirming care. And I'm going to say something about, we need to rename that, and I'll tell you why in a minute, but gender-affirming care. And what they found was that over 70% of youth that were living in states where gender-affirming care was being halted experienced suicidal ideation. There was a 70% increase in suicide attempts in youth in those states after gender-affirming care was cut down. Now, what I'll remind everybody is that this was a study done in 2024. If you know anybody that has a youth who has started transgender treatment and hormone treatment, it's very difficult to find those services now. I spoke to a colleague who I'm going to reference again in a moment from California, where the UCLA hospital, which was the premier treating hospital for transgender youth, has stopped providing care because of regulations and the threat of losing federal funding. And that's happening all over the United States. So where's the hope in all of this? I'm not completely a doomsayer. My family will tell you I am a doomsayer, but I'm not completely a doomsayer. So the youth who did find treatment, 2/3 of whom did it in-person therapy, benefited from that therapy. 54% of those same school-age youth who were attending a school that was a gender-affirming, supportive school reported less rates of suicidation, less rates of depression, less rates of anxiety. So what I want to say again is that something that I think I said the last time I gave this talk. Yes, there is an increased need for services for individuals who identify as LGBTQ. Why is that? It's because we don't have, forget about gender affirming, we don't have affirming care for them. We all need support. And our responsibility is to provide that support for each other. And that's what I hope that JFCS continues to do. And that's how I see JFCS, as a place where we help provide that hope, regardless of who you are or what you believe. Certainly we serve the Jewish community, but we serve the entire community because, again, that is what is critical for Judaism. That is core to who we are as Jews, and we will continue to do that. What do we do specifically for the LGBTQ community except for come up and talk about dire statistics? Well, part of what we do is that we have multiple therapists, a diverse therapy team that provides good quality affirming care for the clients we serve, regardless of who you are, because we believe in that. We also have an innovative support group. Support groups at JFCS are free of charge. We have a support group for parents and caregivers of transgender youth. And as you can imagine, given what I just described, it's more critical for those caregivers and those families than ever before. Melissa Roth has been providing that service for about 4 years. It's a very critical service to our team. The other thing I'll mention is that just last month, actually, JFCS of Louisville signed on to a new multi-year initiative that I think is a very important initiative and I'm very excited about. So there's some national Jewish-facing support groups that support the LGBT community. There's probably more, but the ones I'm most familiar with are JQ International, Jewish Queer International, which also has provided some consultation for us for our transgender support groups, and also Keshet, who also I looked at. They even have commentary on tonight's Devar Torah, by the way. And we are partnering, and not just JFCS Louisville, but other JFCS around the JFCSs in the country are partnering with them because the helpline that JQ International has for the LGBTQ community is overwhelmed. So they will be training and utilizing therapists at JFCSs, hopefully ours as well, to help serve the hotline. In addition to that, Keshet will be doing training for JFCSs so that that our workplace, and I consider JFCS an ally, I consider myself an ally, but that doesn't mean I'm perfect. And Keshet will be providing training opportunities for JFCSs, for our communities, to understand allyship. And I want to tell you one more thing, one more story about JFCS and how I think about allyship. And at our last board meeting, I was informing the board about the Pride Parade. And as you know, any of you who receive emails from the Federation, you have learned this week about, if you didn't already know, about some of the controversy to the Pride Parade this year. And I was updating the board, and I was seeking their input. Now, I will share with you that I had already decided, in part because Rabbi David threatened me, so I'd already decided we were going to march no matter what, because that's what allies do, right? Over coffee. That's a whole other story. And there was a very robust discussion among our board. Now, I will tell you that when I say discussion, there wasn't a single board member that questioned whether we should march. But an incredibly meaningful moment happened, which is that one of our board members said, I have two very critical identities. My two most precious identities are that I'm a Jew and that I'm gay. And those identities are minority identities. And the only place where those identities are cherished and supported and a majority is at the Pride Parade marching with Jewish Louisville. Please march with me today. And that is what allyship is. So thank you all very much for tonight. Thank you to the Pride Committee. I'm very proud to be a member of Temple, a member of a community that embraces the big, beautiful tent, diversity, intersectionality, which is a word we're not allowed to use anymore, but embraces diversity. And thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom.
The words are in the handouts.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Ashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Ashkivenu, li shalom. V'ha'amidenu, shomrenu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu, sukkah shlomecha. Ashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Ashkivenu, li shalom. Ashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Ashkivenu, li shalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Thank you, David, for the beautiful words and for the message of tikva, the message of hope that you shared with us among also very scary statistics that you and how much the work of Jewish Family and Career Services is needed in our community and in our cities. We turn now to page 293. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. On this Shabbat, we remember especially Richard Frank, William A. Planck, Bernard Cohen, Abraham Bogoslavsky, Hilda Present, Gerta Schwartz, Ruth Weinstock, Jerome Kaufman, Eleanor Young, Annette Liebman, Francine Natowitz, Annalie Jaffe, Maurice Coleman Zeiger, Sol H. Becker, Leon Hirsch, Udell B. Levy, Reima Berman Schuster, James F. Stein, Jean Steinfeld, John Joseph Glenn, Eva Levy, Sylvia Schultz, Libby Wenker, Ethel Handler, Doris Lansky, Kurt Norton, Annette S. Zeiger, and in recent days, Barbara Prager. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. With the blessed memories of our loved ones in our hearts, we rise as we turn to page 294 to say together the Mourner's Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלל שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, לאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. זיכרונם לברכה. May the memory of our loved ones come to be a blessing and a benediction to us all. Amen. Before our closing song, which is in the handouts as well, I want to remind everyone we have tomorrow a very special day. There's a Torah study dedicated to the Pride Shabbat at 9 a.m. and then at 10:30 we have our special Pride service with LGBTQ plus members of our congregation leading the entire service, together with Shir Chadash, our choir, Voices of Kantakiana, which is the only LGBTQ plus choir in our region, and they sing here every year, and with our wonderful Jennifer Diamond, and also the rabbis are there, but Rabbi Rachel Pass is going to give the sermon, the Dvar Torah, after the reading from the Torah. Yesterday, she's the daughter of our state senator Karen Berg, who happens to be also a member of our congregation, and the sister of Henry Berg of blessed memory. And she's been giving the sermon for a few years now, so she will do that also tomorrow. And then there will be a concert of Voices of Kantakiana and a special lunch with Born to Bagel. One last thing, and the sisterhood famous
Rainbow challah.
Rainbow challah and rainbow cake, of course. David said that he's afraid of me. I don't know why, but I'm afraid of Karen Waldman, so I didn't forget. And last but not least, please, after we sing for every man, for every person, for everyone born a place at the table, please join us in the Heidemann Auditorium for a special Pride Oneg that Chava and the women of Reform Judaism prepared for us.
That means yummies. For everyone born, a place at the table. For everyone born, clean water and bread. A shelter, a space, a safe place for growing. For everyone born, a star overhead. And God will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, compassion and peace. Yes, God will delight when we are creators of justice justice and joy. For woman and man, a place at the table, revising the roles, deciding the share. With wisdom and grace, dividing the power. For woman and man, a system that's fair. And God will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, compassion and peace. Yes, God will delight when we are creators of justice, justice and joy. For young and for old, a place at the table, a voice to be heard, a part in the song. The hands of a child in hands that are wrinkled. For young and for old, the right to belong. For gay and for straight, a place at the table, a covenant shared, a welcoming space. A rainbow of race and gender and color. For gay and for straight, a heart full of grace. And God will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, compassion and peace. And God will delight when we are creators of justice, justice and joy. For everyone born, a place at the table, to live without fear and simply to be. To work, to speak out, to witness and worship. For everyone born, the right to be free. And God will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, compassion and peace. Yes, God will delight when we are creators of justice, justice and joy, justice and joy.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Please say Shabbat Shalom to at least one person you never met, and please join us for the oneg. Shabbat Shalom.